Yeah, about the social issue, well, online communities can be a wonderful thing, but they are still incapable of replacing physical communities because there are still so many things that you can only do with your with your body and with your physical friends, and you can travel with your mind throughout the world, but not with your body. And there is a huge questions about the costs and benefits there, and also the ability of people to just escape things they don't like in online communities, but you can't do it in real offline communities. I mean, you can unfriend your Facebook friends, but you can't unneighbor your neighbors. They are still there.
Yeah.
I mean, you can take yourself and move to another country if you have the means, but most people can't. So part of the logic of traditional communities was that you must learn how to get along with people you don't like necessarily, maybe, and you must develop social mechanisms how to do that. And with online communities, I mean, and they have done some really wonderful things for people, but also they kind of don't give us the experience of doing these difficult but important things.
Yeah, and I definitely don't mean to state that that online communities can replace everything that a physical community did. The most meaningful online communities that we see are ones that span online and offline, that bring people together. Maybe the original organization might be online, but people are coming together physically, because that ultimately is really important for relationships and for because we're physical beings, right? So whether it's there are lots of examples around whether it's an interest community where people care about running, but they also care about cleaning up the environment. So a group of people organize online, and then they every week go for a run along a beach or through a town and clean up garbage. That's like a physical thing. I mean, we hear about communities where people, if you're in a profession, maybe the military or maybe something else where you have to move around a lot, people form these communities of military families or families of groups that travel around, and the first thing they do when they go to a new city is they find that community, and then that's how they get integrated into the local physical community too. So that's obviously a super important part of this that I don't mean to understand.
Yeah, and then the question, the practical question for also a service provider like Facebook is, what is the goal? I mean, are we trying to connect people so ultimately they will leave the screens and go and play football or pick up garbage? Or are we trying to keep them as long as possible on the screens? And there is a conflict of interest there.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have, one model would be, we want people to stay as little as possible online. We just need them to stay there the shortest time necessary to form the connection, which they will then go and do something in the outside world.
Yeah.
And that's one of the key questions, I think, about what the internet is doing to people, whether it's connecting them or fragmenting society.